What's up, my G's, both upper and lower case? My name is Jordan Lewis. I'll just be some guy today. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the ReEvolve Media Revolution Podcast, featuring TeaFannie. What I'm about to tell you is so unbelievable that you can't really be on the fence about it. You either believe it or you don't. There really is zero room for middle ground, and you'll see why. Human beings have extrasensorial powers. Yes, ESP. Now, I'm not going to get into the third eye, pineal gland mumbo-jumbo, but instead, I'm going to turn towards something more palatable. The law of attraction, aka The Secret. Go ahead, ask the people you know if they believe in the law of attraction. I'd be willing to bet that the more successful ones do. Essentially, the law of attraction means that your thoughts, whatever they may be, become what is attracted to you. Let's add the phrase weak-minded to the equation. How in control of your thoughts are you? Do they spiral out of control and seep chaos into your life, spouting recursive rhetoric? Or do they lead you towards hypothetical epiphanies that guide your soul forwards? This is ESP, both ways. You cannot be on the fence about this. You either learn to control it or it will cripple you. If you don't believe me, look it up. There have been tests run in labs by scientists that aren't just some guy on a podcast. Now let's pretend for a moment that without a doubt, you are capable of this sixth sense or ability. Why would humans have this trait? Why was it evolved into us? What evolutionary advantages would it have provided our ancestors, even in its suppressed state? TeaFannie may have dropped some hints in this interview. Try to pick them up. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Tiffany. She goes by TeaFannie. She's out of Calgary, Alberta. How you doing, TeaFannie?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, do you want me to call you TeaFannie, or what can I call you for short? Is that even a thing that you do? I don't know. Let me know how to address you.
You know what? It's okay. I'm good with Tiffany. That's blessed. Or even
Do you want to go for Tiffany? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's blessed.
Okay, beautiful. So you're based out of Calgary, Alberta, and you've got kind of like R&B at the core of your like hip hop game here. Tell me a little bit about how you got started. It looks like you kind of started out of Edmonton. Am I right with that?
Yeah, I'm an army brat, so I've actually moved around quite a bit. So right now I'm in Calgary. I might even end up going back to Edmonton. I'm sorry, Calgary people.
Interesting. Yeah, nah, you just keep flipping the scripts. It's okay.
Yeah, you know, I can't stand what are they? The Jamaicans, they call me hot foot.
Hot foot. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's that about? So what inspired the move to Calgary first, and what's inspiring the moving away?
So actually I moved back to Calgary like last year because I was gonna help my mom out in the restaurant more.
So it was back to Calgary.
Yeah, let me just break it down real quick because I moved around way too much. So I was actually born in BC.
Okay.
And then I moved to Calgary, and then I moved to Edmonton, and then I moved and then I went to Toronto, then I went to Saskatoon, then I went to Calgary, and then I went back to Edmonton. Now I'm back in Calgary.
Gotcha. So explain the mentality behind being an army brat for the people who don't know it.
Okay, an army brat. It basically just means for me that my dad was military. So from time I was born, he's been military. He's not anymore. Now he's a CO.
Okay.
At the Young Offenders place. But
where's that based out of?
In Calgary.
Oh, sweet. Okay, awesome.
What is it? CYOC? That's what they call it.
Yo, that. All right.
Yeah. So because my dad was military, we never really stayed in one place. And in my adult life, I guess I've just kind of continued that.
That's totally fair. You're just rolling with the trends. Is that kind of sticking to what you know, or is that just like you like to keep it fresh?
Yeah, I like to keep it fresh, and this music thing is kind of new for me. Like I just started doing music like 2 years ago now in Edmonton, and I had come to Calgary, did like a festival or something at the end of the summer last year, and it was Doshma with Afros in the City who like found me on the sidewalk and like the love, and then she started giving me gigs and stuff, and so I was like, I think I'm gonna move to Calgary. Like Calgary's kind of popping right now.
Interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
So is that after your discovery by Tough House Records or Ways I've got listed here?
Oh yeah, it was Waze at Tough House who kind of pushed me into the studio. Like I kind of randomly went there, and he's friends with like the homies or family with the homies, and so they kind of I was like rapping in a garage one day, and then they must have told him about me, and so I went over there, and then he's kind of was like, okay, well let's see what you got, and he gave me the song. He's like, write a hook for it, and when I came back with this hook, you could tell I was really trying way too hard. And when you look back at it, it's called Beautiful. It's called Beautiful, and it's on YouTube and stuff. It's out. We did a music video for it, but the hook has
Ooh.
way too many words. Like I thought that I was really shooting my shot. You know what I mean?
For real, that's super interesting though. Right from the get-go, you were doing videos.
Yeah, I guess I was fortunate enough. He really liked it, and so that ended up being the first single on his album that he dropped, and he shot a video for it.
That's so cool. So is that under your former alias of She or SHE?
Yeah, he. I was like in the booth one day, and he gave me that name.
What is it an acronym?
Yeah, he said she. He's like, your name should be she, and I was like, it should be an acronym. And so I just like thought about it for a few days, and I was like, okay, it'll be some have everything.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, my acronym, and then I decided that when I moved to Calgary last year is when I kind of decided to change my name also.
Okay.
And it was kind of like a separation thing, I guess, at that point, but I wasn't really ready to like leave Tough House quite yet. So
Gotcha.
so
So just to touch on the acronym there, actually, some have everything. Is that a nod to kind of just the 1%, or is that to a nod to kind of like mentally having what you need there?
so I am in love with double entendres.
Okay.
Perspective and people's perception of things.
Gotcha.
So I liked that because you can look at it both ways. You can look at it like I did have a lot of feedback, or not a lot. Sorry, I had like 2 people come back to me and say, "Oh, so you're trying to say that you have everything?" And I was like, "It's how you want to view it, really."
They came at you.
Yeah. So I was like,
Oh man.
it shows me like a mentality of who you are, kind of thing. Also, so it was. I liked it for that reason. It was some have everything. It can go both ways. It can either go if you view me as, oh, I have everything, or you can view me as, woe is me, some have everything, or it's just it's whatever it is. Oh, some have everything. Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
So how'd you respond to the people who built their own perception and then judged you by what they thought it was?
I left them with it.
Yeah.
I'm bad with that.
Did you like kind of cut them off, or did you just say like, shrug your shoulders and just move on?
Yeah, because those specific people weren't like friends anyways. They were just people like on Instagram. So I really was like, I explained it to them. It's about your perception. If that's what you want to think, then I'm happy for you. And I left it at that.
Hey, that's beautiful. You educated them, and now maybe they'll move on and not fuck up like that again. Or I don't know. That's not really that big of a fuck up, but you know what I mean.
Hey, in my head, they fucked up.
Maybe, yeah, they dismissed what could be the next hottest thing. You never know.
Never know. That's my mentality. I'm just like,
right.
I'm not begging.
Moving on from that though, you got discovered as SHE by your boy Waze, and then what happened?
Yeah, then I made the decision, I think about 6 weeks ago now, that I was just gonna do things on my own. I blame COVID.
Yeah. In like a good and bad way, eh?
It was, I hate to say it, but it has been very good for me, just because I completely went like introspective and learned how to do a lot of things that I didn't know how to do before. Music wise, I really tried to grow. I was like, hey, I need to figure out, let me figure out how much work goes into doing cover arts, and like, let me see how much work goes into mixing, mastering, and I uploaded my first few singles and stuff. And so I was like, okay, this isn't as hard as I thought it was. Like, I kind of have this Tough House, these people doing it for me, because it's like a label thing. And so when I realized that, I can kind of do it on my own, and I've been slowly, organically building a team. And today, literally, it just got set. I feel like I have a solid team now. And so I was like, I'm going to part ways. So everything is still like cordial, with Ways and Tough House and stuff. But as far as like releasing music, this album is the first and last project out of Tough House.
That's incredible. So you're saying today being July 20th, what was the big event that happened today?
Yes, I had a beautiful meeting with Doshma.
Sorry, repeat that last part. I think it cut your audio cuts out when I speak over you. Sorry about that.
No, don't even worry. It's okay. So I had a beautiful meeting with Doshma. She's the head of Afros in the city.
Okay.
She's the one who kind of found me on that sidewalk, like late last year in Calgary,
Ah,
and was started giving me, just showing me little gigs here and there, not as a manager, just as like a friend, just wanting to genuinely help me out.
just like a supporter of you, eh?
Right. I love that because, you're not only, you're not all about me. You have your own thing going on also. So I really appreciate, especially females like that.
Oh, no doubt. And then there's the overlap where obviously you're going to be able to help her in her aspect of the business as well, which it seems like you've come to terms on today. Actually, let's hear about that.
Oh yeah. So we had this beautiful meeting, and basically it'll be her and Lyric, who is a beast lyricist in Calgary. I hope you've heard of him. If you
I've definitely
haven't,
heard of Lyric. Yeah, definitely.
So I have Lyric and Doshma, Afros in the City, pretty much my management right now.
No way.
And that's huge because that has Lyric, that'll help me grow. I'm still working on perfecting my delivery and making a song, not just writing verses. So that mentorship is gonna be. I'm really excited about it.
That's awesome. So other than the mentorship, what were some of the other main aspects that wanted you to have a manager? Just for the people, I know a lot of underground artists and just artists in general don't have management or don't see the value there. So tell me what you saw.
So with Doshma, she has been in the game for. Sorry about the noise there. So she's
That's
been
all
in the
good.
game for probably about 20 years, and not just in the music game, like in the Alberta music, and Ontario
Yeah.
a little bit. So just been in there, and so she has knowledge, and she's not just knowledgeable, she's in the right circles. So I don't know really the next steps. Like, I'm still looking around. Like, I told myself I'm gonna try this for a year and see what happens. But now I'm thinking of next steps because of her, and she knows exactly, where to go, what to do, navigate specifically. And I need specifics, man. Like, you can't be like, okay, go make an album. Like, no, I need you to be like, this is what you're doing today. Like,
For real.
yeah.
I feel that. I feel that in the way your Instagram's set up, I can see that I don't know, is that inspired by you, or I know you've got even your website.
I did that.
What's going on there?
I did. I was working on branding when I first started the website.
Okay.
And to me, I thought that branding was like, making sure it's all the same color scheme and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which is an important part of it. Making things aesthetically pleasing is huge.
Right, but I recently learned, like, maybe probably about like a month ago, that it's way more than that, and so right.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I redid my whole website like last week, I think, or
Okay.
a week and a half ago when I dropped the album. Same night, I redid the whole website, and I revamped the Instagram a little bit, but I try to streamline it, and then also my goal is to make things as easy and stupid as possible, like for anybody to get to where they need to get to in order for me to sell my stuff. Like,
You know what? I could actually see that in that you can do one of two things. You can either scroll the page, or you can click one of the links at the top to just click you right to where you need to go. Right? It's the same thing.
yeah, I had a link tree there before, but now when I drop the album, I figured I'll push that website fully.
Yeah, do it right. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And you need that online real estate to look good, because the physical real estate isn't the best place to be, right?
Right.
These
So
times.
I'm learning, but yeah. So I've just been doing the Instagram and the website, and I'm learning. It's a lot of work. It's cool though. I like it.
To be honest, I'd say it's paying off, because it caught my eye right from the get-go. Your Instagram, that is, and then I did take a peek at your website, and that looks, it's laid out really well from my perspective. So kudos to you for that.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome. So let's go through a bit of your actual music in terms of your releases here. So I actually couldn't find anything about your previous releases before you did the name change there. You want to tell me a bit about that?
Oh, so
I hunted and I hunted, but I couldn't look.
yeah, it was actually So that's probably one of the reasons why I left Tough House also. Just because I found that I was recording a lot and I was working and writing a lot, but nothing was coming of it. I think we were trying to do a mixtape, and then all of a sudden it wasn't a mixtape because the beats that I had used were all inspired beats by females that I grew up with. Like I used Pink and I tried to do a Shania Twain and I No Doubt.
So it became a full-fledged project.
Yeah, and I was trying to do a mixtape, but then it just turned around that, we might as well use original beats or whatever. So I re-recorded some of the stuff on original beats, and then we're like, okay, might as well do an album. But with all of that being said, time is being spent. So, by the time I changed my name and moved to Calgary, I released the 3 singles on my own, not kind of released through Tough House. It's only just the album, really. And then the only thing that you'll find is probably that Ways song that I did because it's featuring She. And then maybe the Z-Wave song, but it's only on like Audio Mac.
No, I didn't find Z-Waves. I think I clicked more into your SoundCloud where you've got like a bunch of unreleased or not on your official releases, like the Tatiana remix. You got The Call, Schizo, sorry, Venting, and Get Me Lit.
Yeah, which I think I may have made those private by now. My bad. I just did that a few days ago.
Did you? What's the reason that you kept those off of your official releases?
So the Get Me Lit beat was like a beat that somebody had given me randomly from the internet. Like it was one of those, here's 5 free beats and then you can...
Oh, I see.
Right. And then as time progressed, I've had a lot of amazing producers reach out. And so now I have a set of maybe, is it 3 or 4 producers?
Yeah.
That I can say that I work with. So I really like any of those beats that I did, like Tatiana. I'm actually going to rework those verses and put it on an original beat, make it a different song. So I made that one private. And then Get Me Lit, that one's going to go on an original beat instead. Like my homegirl DJ King, she's my DJ now. But the 3rd beat she ever made was the intro to my album. So
the 3rd beat she ever made
in her life, like just made it off of her phone. And so I was like, oh,
no way.
So now, like, she's been making beats since then. It's only been a few weeks now. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. And you put her on your project that just got released July 10th, T-Town.
Yeah, it did.
That's crazy. I'm gonna touch on a couple of your lyrics from. I've got one here from Tatiana that I just wanted to dive into a little bit. And it might not be what you think. Actually, it's you say that you're a Virgo vegan.
Oh yeah.
That's back then. What obviously the Virgo part can't change, but actually no, it can change. But anyways, the vegan part. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So in those, was it 2 or 3 weeks, I was definitely a vegan.
For 2-3 weeks? When you wrote this line, did you have the intention on like doing it indefinitely, or what was the goal there?
Yeah, I still have the intention. Like I've been trying to go back. It hasn't really stuck for more than like maybe 2 or 3 days, but I've like it's an on and off thing for me. I've been trying to go vegan. If anything, maybe what's the one called where you eat fish? So is it
pescatarian?
Right, yeah, I might do that. But yeah, that's why. And then I think I've also used vegan in another line too, and I was like, I gotta change that or like be really about it.
Honestly, I think at this day and age, it's fair if the intention is there, because the word vegan, it's not as strict as a lot of people think it is. Like you can be for just the entire ethical methods of extracting whatever resources and still like portray vegan values. You know what I mean? You're not a concrete vegan to the core, but still.
I like that. Okay. Right,
the idea is there, and the reasons behind it are there. It's still compassionate.
I'm definitely gonna listen back to this and write it down.
For sure. If you ever have questions on it later, we can always talk about it as well. Like I've got these are my notes based on your work, so
that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. And then I actually hunted down from 2019. It's one of your earliest releases that's on Spotify, and it's not a release by you, but by Dark Drifter. It's got a verse by you in it.
Oh, that was a pretty cool event too, actually.
What? Oh, so that was an event. Tell me a bit about that, because you got you're featuring with Miss Benzo, G Major, and Blu-ray there.
Yeah, and that was it was. I had a show right in Edmonton. I unfortunately cannot remember what show this was, but I had a show.
That's fair.
Miss Benzo and G Major, they live in Calgary, right?
Yeah.
So they happened to be in Edmonton, and they came to support me that night, which was huge. And then after the show, they're like, "Yo, we're going to this studio," and I was like, "It's like 11:30 at night. All right, let's get it."
And you obviously had heavy history with them beforehand.
Yeah, like I've known Miss Benzo for a few years now, actually. Yeah.
Okay, I feel you. All
And
right,
we both kind of started in music the same time. Like she just, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna try this too," and so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, tell me a bit more about that though. You guys went to a studio and this just fired up that night?
Yeah, so she was part of this thing called the Collective X, which was her, G Major, and Blu-ray. And so Dark Drifter was creating this album with a whole bunch of Edmonton artists, and they're like, "Yeah, yo, whatever, let's try and jump on this track." So they're playing beats, and then they start playing this one beat, and sure enough, I was like, "Yo, I like that," and then we all liked it. We just started writing to it, and the 4 I only did. Okay, so technically I did like I think it was 8 bars total. When I rapped though, I did like 4 bars, and then the second part I was like, I can hear Benzo singing it though, so I instead of like myself, yeah, so both of us actually went out to the balcony, had a quick spliff, and while we were just smoking a spliff, we come up with this with the rest of it. "I'll suspend you in my fantasy reality, recognize I give you life," and then she came up with the dopest line when she said, what did she say? "Recognize, give you life, why the crown never tilt when he's smashing me." I was like, "What did she just say? What?" And
that's crazy. And it's just all on the spot off the top, eh?
Yeah, like we were all dead tired. I remember G Major was like so sick sitting in the corner. Probably COVID back then. Who knows?
What?
Who knows?
Patient zero.
Right? But yeah, it was late. I think we left the studio there like 2:30 at Dark Drifters. And so that was cool. So I ended up on that project and then ended up getting a show out of it too. Because he put on a showcase or whatever.
All spontaneously, eh?
Yeah, I love organic moments like that. Like that's how I got to, oh my gosh, like Junior T is like, I can't believe, like just be genuinely fucking nice to people.
That's the truth.
Yeah, like Junior T had come up to Calgary. Was it Edmonton or Calgary? I don't remember anyways, but the most recent time it was in Calgary, and he was one of the judges for this beat battle. I think Benny at 10 at 10 brought him here.
Yeah.
And then he was staying over at Wizard's Palace. And while he's there, it's a crazy, like, creative session. There's, like, 25 people there.
What's Wizard's Palace?
Wizard's Palace is this crazy creative space. So they have, like, this studio that I can't even explain to you because I don't even understand all of the technical parts of it. But, I mean, the walls were made out of some kind of wood that bounces the sound back to your chair so that when you're mixing and it was, like...
it was like a reverberation chamber?
Something like that. And it was just beautifully done and huge, and it was basically a gazebo that they made into this like space.
That's dope.
It was.
I'm gonna Google that after this.
Yeah. It's really, really pretty, and like Z the Free, Celsi. I met Yolanda. All of those 3, I met them at Wizard's Palace because of Junior T when he came up here. And
that's crazy. So long ago, eh?
Right? Like, well, not even. It was probably like November.
Oh yeah, this was last year. I forget. We were talking very recently. Yeah,
October, November. It's crazy. So, and then out of all the people in the room, he was playing a beat and he turned to me and he's like, "Okay, lay something down." And I was like, "What?" And I have stage fright. Like I can't, like, you want me to come in front of all of these people? Like usually when I'm recording, it's like dark, like I'll have sunglasses on or like a hat. Like I like to be like hidden.
I feel you on that. No worries there.
Right. So like when he turned to me, he's like, "Lay something down." And then I did anyways, because always be ready.
Were you like sweating bullets or what?
Yeah, I was so nervous, and like I still have the original recording, and you can hear the difference between that one and then I ended up with that beat that we did that night, and so now I have a track on my album from Junior T. Like,
which track is it?
That one's called "I Pray."
I Pray. That's the one you did with the whole squad there.
Yeah, with Benzo and Major.
And it was one of your single releases too, right?
It was. Pardon?
You released it as a single prior to releasing it on the album?
I did. I released it as a single, and then like maybe a month later, BLM came back alive, and I was like, "Oh, this is crazy!" Like I was literally just talking about this.
Yeah, and now it's even more relevant than ever.
Right? Like it's yeah.
That's dope. Hey, listen, we're gonna take that break I told you about. We're just over the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna listen to TeaFannie's track "Lion Don't Eat Lion."
When niggas killing niggas over some dumb business. Take it in, niggas killing niggas, know the difference. Play within it, but step to me first and I'll dismiss it. An angel bloodline, cause we the fittest. Clean off that team, no feds for see. Fingerprints on these, man's on his knees. Begging, oh Lord please, rat took my cheese. Too late fees, can't be saved by Jesus. Go on like Uncle Ruck, in white God you trust. Think you can't be touched, stand the fuck up and look me in my eye to listen to what's what. Took more than your slice of pie, it's granted I get buck instead of a gun, but I'ma give you a little cut and watch all the guts fall out that it took the tea from us. Black on black crime is a no-no. You start shit, it's time to go though. Teach you something you ain't no. Leon Amage, part of Leon. Legs turn to oodles and noodles, but ask for it. Cause I said to you, my shooters got shooters or passports. All my girls be ruder than noodles with ass though. And my circle be truer than Trudeau's black asshole. You touched the wrong one. Lying, don't be lying. A gunbuck with a long gun. Lying, don't be lying. Blacks used to get hung. Lying, don't be lying. I get free but so done. Lying, don't be lying. You touched the wrong one. Lying, don't be lying. Gunbuck with a long gun. Lying, don't be lying. Blacks used to get hung. Lying, don't be lying. I get free but so done. Lying, don't be lying. Trying to evolve as a people, you're like slavery the sequel. Rob your own ain't equal. Hide your head in white sheet though. Crab in the bucket looking. Could be free, could be cooking. Either way you keep pulling till both your lives get ruined. Always looking for a handout, another way to stand out. Cause your life ain't panned out. How you likely planned out your life and how you handle the trials and tribulations. You blame voodoo and Haitians. I know that's why you hating, but stay in your lane. My grassland, my plain, my king of the longest pain. So what you doing is insane in the membrane. Lying don't eat lying, then complain. Lying ain't lying to rest everything. It's territorial exceptions. Bystander pedestrian. Stay quiet, taking medicine. Looking like you need to rest again. Early G's get the worm. If you ain't heard that's a word, ask around any hood. Yeah, I wish a nigga would. You touched the wrong one. Lying, don't be lying. A gunbuck with a long gun. Lying, don't be lying. Blacks used to get hung. Lying, don't be lying. I get free but so done. Lying, don't be lying. You touched the wrong one. Lying, don't be lying. Gunbuck with a long gun. Lying, don't be lying. Blacks used to get hung. Lying, don't be lying. I get free but so done. Lying, don't be lying. See, I used to be on some don't talk to me shit, but my man is no punk. Bang bang, don't talk to me shit.
Hello, everyone. I'm back with TeaFannie. How you feeling, TeaFannie?
Oh, I'm feeling blessed.
Oh, blessed. You and me both. You and me both. So we talked about your 2019 work and previous. So let's talk a bit more about what you've been doing this year. So like you said, you released 3 singles. What was exactly? I know we talked about I Pray a bit, but the other 2, Money Long and Lion Don't Eat Lion. What are your thought process behind those tracks and like why you released them as singles? And was there a reason that you released them when you released them?
Yeah, so Money Long, I got antsy and I was like, I want to have something out there with my name on it. Like that's my song.
You just wanted to go hard, yeah.
Right. So and then Money Long is also, it's produced by Lord Quest, who's like a Grammy nominated producer. So I was like, if I ever gonna do this song and use this beat.
How'd you get a hold of the beat?
Well, yeah, lucky for me, like my big bro K Riz in Edmonton, he's like my brother from another mother. I've known him and Quest since I was like 15 or 16.
Okay.
So it just so happened that he is where he is now, but we've been friends, really good friends since then.
That's dope. That's crazy.
So I told him I might want to start rapping. I don't know. And he sent me, if you...
Here, I have this Grammy-nominated producer's beat. Here you go.
Yeah, he's like, here you go.
That's crazy. Okay, then what about the other track there?
Oh, so Lion Don't Eat Lion was cool because shout out to Nova Mills in Edmonton also. But he really he saw me at a show and really liked what I was doing and wanted to help me out. So we had a studio session and we did this he gave me this beat to spit on, and then we were going to share it, and then he decided to just let me have all of it, I guess. So I wrote a whole hook and a second beat, and then that whole song just came about from one of my friends, actually. Lion Don't Eat Lion is because he got robbed downtown Calgary, and he wasn't upset that he got robbed. He was upset that he got robbed by like another Black person, and so that's where that song came about. Pretty much was like, Lion Don't Eat Lion. We should be.
Yeah, I caught the theme because you definitely explicitly say black on black that crime, but I was wondering if there was a story to it. Do you care to elaborate on the story? I know it's not your story, but
well, yeah, I mean, basically he was downtown, and some of these guys wanted the whatever stuff that he had with him, like a backpack and stuff, and so they literally like tried to beat him up to take his stuff, and they ended up taking it. But I mean, how do I like not snitch on people? I don't know.
Oh, he knew of them.
He got his stuff back the next day.
No shit. Like he knew of people who knew of them, or he knew them directly.
Yeah, knew of people who knew of them. So
man, and so how's the blood between them now?
I guess it's not. No, it's still not great. I don't even talk to that guy anymore, actually. So.
Oh man, that's still crazy. All right. Well, moving on to, you actually released something fairly recently on July 10th. You launched your first full-fledged release, and one of my favorite things about this release, so it's called Tea Time. It's got 12 tracks in it, and you, like you said, this is your last release by Tough House Studio. You've got tons of features in there. You've got Miss Benzo, G Major, Waze, Ozila. If I'm butchering any of these names, please interrupt.
Ozila.
You've got Shane Walker and Anya Essence.
Oh, Shane Walker is my real brother.
Shane Walker's your real brother, your actual blood. That's crazy.
Right, but he's trying to be an actor, and so his stage name is Shane Walker.
Got you. So this is just kind of like a one-off for him? You just got him involved?
Yeah, it was actually because I called him and recorded the conversation because I was trying to match his voice to record this song, legit. And I ended up obviously not being able to match his voice, but I found some gems in there, and so I was like, yo, I'm gonna use like some of these audio clips for the song, and yeah, so that's where that came.
And it all came to be. That's awesome.
Anya Essence at the end. She's one of my cousins who lives, or my dad's cousin actually, I should say, who lives in Toronto, and she's been through the same thing that I've been through, what we're talking about in the song, and so I felt that it would be perfect for her to put one of her poems on there because she's a poet.
That's interesting, and we'll talk more about the theme of that track as well, but honestly, I want to just point out how it's awesome that you've gathered so many people that you work so closely with, like your direct cohorts, and you just put them all in something, a project that you've probably been working on for quite a while.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that, you know, people know I am all about giving back, you know, like it's a family thing in a way, but it's also like friends are your family too, and who you choose, and I've gotten to a point now where I am really choosy about who I work with, so yeah, it was cool.
I like as well how you kind of strategize the release. It's a little bit different than what I'm accustomed to. So you didn't put this out on streaming platforms. Tell me a bit about your thought process behind that, or whose idea it was and what their thought process was.
Ooh, like the real thought process, or like the Virgo, like impatient? No, I'm just joking.
Ooh, a little bit of everything.
I mean, it's no secret. Like obviously I made all the promo and stuff, so the album was supposed to come out. The original plan was June 21st for Father's Day because I wanted to do a release of the song that I did for my dad and a video, and Sled Island was also going to promo the Walk It Off song with the album. So I kind of had everything timed out. But it's Tough House who's releasing it, and so I didn't really have control over that, and it just kept delaying, and so finally I realized that, I use this awesome site called Bandzoogle for my website, and they allow me to sell merch and my album and everything right through my website. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, I should just put it on my website now, and then whenever it's streaming on all the platforms, it should be streaming on all platforms now.
Okay. I didn't catch it earlier today, so maybe it is now.
Okay. I mean, like, because I know that this will, like, it's Tuesday, July, right?
Yeah. This will be well into the future, for sure.
In the future, it will be streaming on all platforms July 21st, supposedly. So, I wanted to do it on my website first because it was advertised as being, we've delayed it so many times, and so it was advertised, the latest date I think was July 10th, and so it was July 11th that I was like, okay, it's on my website now, so whenever it's streaming everywhere else, okay, that'll be good. But for right now, the money is going straight to the artist, right? So it's my website, it's my album right now, and then when it goes and streams on all the other platforms, then that's the Tough House.
Oh, I see. So it almost wasn't exactly exactly the strategy. It was kind of almost like a happy accident.
Yeah, which is weird because I'm hearing feedback now that it's a thing now. Like
I think it's genius.
two other artists have done that already, where they put it on. One artist yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, put it on Bandcamp, and then it'll be streaming on all platforms next week.
It's for the real fans and the family who actually want to get a taste and support initially, you know?
Yeah, and you find that, like, especially your family and your friends, they do want to support you. And, you know, whether it's $5 or $10 that you want to donate, because that's how I put it on there, as it's $5 for the album to download the whole thing, $1 a track, or you can donate however much you feel.
That's incredible. I love that. That's a brilliant strategy, to be honest. I think I might steal that.
Yeah, for sure. It's it's like I love that you said it's a happy accident.
And honestly, like, I'm saying strategy, that's a little bit of a cold way to do it, but it's a great way to funnel the people who want to support you in kind of the best way that they can support you.
Yeah, and I get to show off my website.
There's that, exactly. And it's such a good website.
Cool.
Especially because you newly revamped it for the release. I think that's awesome as well. You put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, well, it's my photographer, Enough Styles, who's like, she was just a friend. Shout out to Haiku. She does a lot of like edibles and stuff. But she just ended up like taking a few pictures one day, and then that ended up being on my album cover for Tea Time. I couldn't even decide which picture to choose, so I made a collage for my cover art.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
Super, real interesting, real different.
Yeah, I'm finding a lot of people like that now, so I'm very happy. Like I said, my DJ who like doesn't even make beats, but now she does. And then another friend who's now a photographer, and then the girl who found me on the sidewalk is now my manager. So it's organicness. I love it. I love that.
Organicness, and it seems like you've just got this energy which just draws the people that it seems that you need in your life.
I'm thankful for it. I'm trying to manifest.
Are you actively doing that, or has it just been kind of like happy-go-lucky so far?
No, I'm one of those weird people, Jordan. I'm sorry. I'm like
elaborate. Let's hear how we can be like one of those people, because it seems to be working for you.
Yeah, I'm really trying to manifest. If I'm even thinking about like even this mixtape, I'm like, okay, there's a song on there that's like an earworm to me. Like I can't get it out of my head. And so as every time I think of the song, I think of at least 10, 12 people with the same, it's in their head, and they're just all like bopping.
So positive associations, kind of.
Yeah, and then what I want is the word of mouth after that. So it's oh my, because I mean, when you first heard like whoever your favorite artist is, like who's your favorite artist?
Me right now, I got a top 3, probably Kendrick, Chance the Rapper, and J. Cole.
Ooh, that's fucking beautiful. D-Smoke.
Thank you. D-Smoke? Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for his next thing to blow me away, because I was blown away by his the live performance he did for the it was one of the last episodes there. That was phenomenal artwork to me, but I haven't really given his music too much of a listen, and that's my bad. I need to get on that right away.
I really did like his album, and oh my gosh, funny story. Wait, was I in the middle of something else? Probably. Whatever.
We'll get back to it. It's all good. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Who knows? We'll get into a lot of stuff.
So when I first heard D-Smoke's album, there's a song on there with Snoop Dogg called, no, I'm not going to pronounce it. I'm pretty sure it's like Spanish or something. Yeah.
Give it a go, and maybe I'll get it.
In English, it's Jasper Yanga. So it might be like Jasper Yanga, maybe? Or...
No, okay, I'm not going to try. I'm sorry.
Right. I don't know. It means pressure.
Okay.
So the beat for that, when I heard it, I was like, that's my beat. I've had this beat for like a year. Why does he have the same beat? And then I realized that it's same, but different. What it is the same sample, but it's such a prominent sample because it's like chanting in the background.
Yeah, it's like the meat of the track.
Basically. So we now have like same, but I put it on my album anyways.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was like, nah, it's called Stand Together.
Stand Together, okay. Yeah, I've heard that track, and I could see it having the same theme as that Pressure track, just by knowing the name.
Mm-hmm. Right, but I really didn't. I ended up using when I heard his, I was like, hey, well, I need to make sure that I'm not copying in any way. I didn't even put a hook in mine, and then I made it like #MeToo-ish a little bit.
and kind of the theme of your entire project here, or your mixtape, is that it's very, very relevant.
Oh, thank you.
No, you're very welcome. Was that intentional, or was that kind of coincidental? Or is that just kind of like who you are?
Wow, I don't know.
Have you acknowledged that it's
No.
literally, because that's the difference between in listening to your music and a lot of the other music I've been listening to, is a lot of the other music is kind of like, it's like generally relevant, whereas yours is like kind of like right now. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it won't be generally relevant, because you obviously touch base on a lot of things that have been around for a long time, but they're just so prevalent today that I feel like that was intentional.
Oh, well, no, it wasn't intentional. A lot of the stuff that I write is like usually a response that I can't say to somebody because it's too mean or something, or like
like an indirect little kind of, an indirect artistic kind of way to retort.
Right, like that Stand Together song, the #MeToo song is like, it's not what you think a #MeToo song is, because I'm kind of yelling at females who take money to go lie in court. And I'm like, it was a situation that had happened where I met some girl who did that, and I was kind of like, obviously I'm not going to have this conversation with her. That mentality is too far gone. But
yeah, did she do it and get caught, or did she do it and is just like bragging about it?
Yeah, like bragging. You have money. I'm proud of you. Someone that laughs,
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I just decided, okay, well, I'm just gonna write my response out instead.
Beautiful. That's a great response as an artist.
I'm trying not to be mean to people.
No, that's okay. If you want, we can also cut that in post. But you did write an entire song about it, and I'm sure it's obvious.
Yeah, no, it's all good. That's especially like if it's a response like that, and if I say who it's about, and I'm not with that person anymore, in that vicinity circle of people anymore. Yeah,
and they might not even be in yours either, or even watching.
Yeah, and if they are, then I mean, that's good. I hope you learn something.
There you go. And even if you aren't that person, and this is kind of, if it relates to you at all, this is to you. So
yeah, like I'm not saying anything that's wrong. It's just that these are hard conversations to have with people sometimes, and if I can't have it with you, then just listen to the song instead.
I haven't heard of anyone else drawing attention to that either, though, so kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Yay.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the other themes in your album there. I'm going to start with the track Token there, which the title kind of speaks for itself on what the theme is going to be, but you definitely do a great job of addressing stereotypes and what it's like to be shortened in perception because of that, and how people kind of like do it in humor but still tiptoe and watch their backs after and while doing it. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, well, that one actually came out because I learned in my adult life that I was a bully to my brother.
Okay, you came to this realization?
Yeah, and I didn't like you said, it's all jokes, it's all fun and games, but like you don't realize how it actually affects people. Like my brother is very light skinned, okay. And if you look at like my relatives and stuff, you can see the comparison, but like in our immediate family, he does stand out a bit. Yeah. With like his green eyes and stuff, like so out of jealousy, like of course I want green eyes, so when I look back at it, I'm like, it's definitely out of jealousy, and I would be like, literally the things that I said in the song, what did I say? I was like, how are you the same color every time you flip your hand? You're not my brother, or what did I say? Request a test, can't have the same dad.
Ooh.
Stuff like, and like, we used to joke around and say that mom slept with the milkman, and I'm like, I didn't even realize how disrespectful that was to my mom.
Right? Yeah. Did she ever hear you saying that?
Oh no.
Okay. So that's actually, so as much as that is relevant to this day, that's actually a personal story. So did you address your bro outside of this track on that?
Definitely. Like we had to talk about it like years ago, and that's when I came to the realization. And so I just decided to put it in a track. And so when I sent him the raw version, that's when I called him and recorded the conversation, because I wanted to see, how he felt about it and whatever. And he's like, he's like, it's good. It's not really about me. And I was like, it's funny because I thought it was, but I guess maybe there's parts of it that are, like when he got beat up by those 4 guys. And I was like, I remember just cruising around Sherwood Park, looking for.
Hey,
I was like, what, like what, and yeah.
that's crazy. So it wasn't really like an emotional conversation. It was kind of just like almost like it was over the head on the actual impact.
Yeah, it was kind of like, we had this conversation and I apologized, and he's like, oh, it's whatever, we're grown now, so you can't really look back and blame the past or whatever. But he was happy that I was able to see it now.
There, and I bet that allowed him to get a little bit of introspection onto maybe how that impacted him outside of the home. Maybe, I don't know if that's an actual.
Yeah, like maybe. But I honestly didn't even go that far. But I bet it has probably. Yeah, I'd love to hear from him. He's trying to be an actor in BC right now.
You're what, sorry?
My brother, he's trying to be an actor in BC right now. He's been on a few Netflix things here and there, but shout out to him.
So let's go into your track. I don't know from there. I picked up. I just pulled one theme from it. Your snitches get stitches line.
But now snitches get riches.
Snitches get riches. Yeah, let's elaborate. let's elaborate on kind of your views on that. I know you say a bit about it in the track, but let's verbalize it slowly.
Yeah, well, the first verse is definitely about somebody.
That's what I was thinking. Do they know that it's about them, or will they come to know?
No, that one has to stay under wraps. I think that one, but it's definitely about someone. And and it's also about everybody who does stuff like that. Like, I think the main line that I love in that verse is when I say like something about you painting your face, we know what you did. Because a lot of these girls right now, and I've seen it, where they will go do a YouTube tutorial or figure out how to paint their face to make it look like maybe some bruises happened or whatever, and then you go to his mom's place or his friend's place and say a bunch of random stories just because you're mad because he has a new girlfriend or something. Like, it's crazy to me.
That is absolutely wild.
So, like, how are females going to stand together if we keep doing stupid stuff like this?
I didn't know there was YouTube tutorials on that stuff.
Oh yeah, you can, because you can do makeup, and it's like they say it's for movies. So right. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay, I see. It's not, the YouTube videos aren't made with malicious intent. It's just the usage is coming out of context.
Yeah, or they hide the fact that it's not malicious, or anyways.
Oh, okay. I understand what you're getting at. I do understand.
It could be a bunch. Who knows?
So do you drive any of your inspiration for this track from the kind of, it's not really current events, and by the time this releases it won't be very current events, but the specific hip hop case of the snitch who is not getting stitches, or do you know what I'm talking about? Young Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I know. You know what? So I was actually like a huge Nicki Minaj fan. Like, you
and me? Well, I wouldn't say I was a huge fan, but okay, sorry, go on. I think we have the same opinion on this.
Yeah, I was like disgustingly a huge fan. Like, I from like 2007, I would be the person cutting her verses to make playlists of just her verses and of featured songs. Like, I loved her, and I studied her come up and everything. And a lot of what I do, like my first line in the intro is like, ask me what I'm doing, I'm following Pink Print. It's like, shout out to Nicki. But like, I recorded that maybe like a week or two before that song came out with Tekashi.
No.
And I was like, out of everything that I've defended her, like even through the whole with her husband and all that stuff, whatever, I defended it still. And like, this is the last straw. And I was like, that's too much for me. Maybe it's been a toxic relationship from the beginning.
That's what I was gonna ask. That were you defending her previously, like based on loyalty, or were you actually kind of like maybe she's right? My
main thing with Nicki was like, she is on pills or something. She's on something. She's surrounded by people that aren't her friends, and she needs her friend. And so my goal was like, I'm gonna make it to a level so I can shake her back to life. Like, I just wanted to help her. And
that's beautiful.
Right, because she's a queen. Like, she should be running this. I was so upset. I was like, how are you letting Cardi doesn't even write half her stuff? Like, why are you letting her? I was so upset. I was pretty upset of how she started moving, like pretty much after Super Bass.
Oh man, that's so rough. It's so hard. It must be real tough to see, and it's because it's like, obviously with the personalities that you and I have, like that's something that that occurrence or working with somebody like that it's a big, what should I call it? Like, it's a big failure. What's a better word for it though?
Like a letdown, or like
it's bigger than a letdown. It's like a total flip of the script, because like you said, you had her back for a couple other things that not a lot of people, like a lot of people probably dropped her for that, but this was kind kind of the final straw for me. I wasn't even a huge fan, but now I'm kind of like, I guess for lack of better terms, boycotting.
Yeah, I went as far to even say, like, yo, is she being extorted? Like, maybe he had this verse from long ago because, you know, they did a song together before. So I'm like, maybe it's like, you know, help my husband drop some charges or something. And I honestly, I was still trying to defend her. And then finally I was like, you know what am I doing? Like, it's done. Like, and then when I heard that she was going to start her own label, I was so excited. And then this whole thing happened. And I was like, because I told you I manifest. So like, I was really going hard on that Nicki label.
Yeah.
Everything. Like
that was like a big inspiration behind what you're doing.
Right. And like even the Schizo song that was on my SoundCloud, I just took it off because it's going to go on a DJ King beat for the mixtape. But that was like all Nicki. That's even the fact that it's 3 different personalities. It came from the Nicki Minaj Megatron challenge that she put out.
Crazy. And so now because of what happened, you took it down and you're redoing it.
I'm gonna redo it. I wish that I can take out the Nicki references, but a lot of them, like, I really like the art, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, listeners who are actually engaged will know that was like a previous standpoint, and then they'll know how your current viewpoints are. Yeah. And there's always a chance for redemption, so who knows?
Man, it's been years I've been waiting for a redemption.
I guess so, and then you just keep getting knocked down.
Yeah,
oh man,
I was excited with Looking Ass when she came out with that, and then I was like, okay, what did you do?
Yeah, we done here.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well, your track Stand Together, we touched on that a little bit, but one of the themes there that actually the way that you started the track, the intro, is you brought up how divide to conquer has always been written in our history.
Yeah.
And then you go on to say, get rid of the weak links. What do you mean by that?
Well, I feel like, you know, we need to stand together, whatever movement it is. It could be an LGBTQ movement, could be BLM, could be female movement. You need to stand together, otherwise you can't move up. Like, so to have these females that are, like I said, still taking money to go to court, it's either you change the mindset. I mean, I'm just saying, like, get rid of the weak links. If that means, you know, build them stronger so that you're no longer the weak link.
Gotcha. So you don't necessarily mean like get rid of the individuals, but just kind of the stuff that makes the other things that they stand for be diminished.
Yeah, like we need better education too. Like it boils down to so much, and even with the whole BLM movement, like we should have this whole thing that when we restarted it a few months ago, we should have at least 2 or 3 banks open that are Black owned right now. Like we're kind of like screaming with no movement right now.
Do you think that in our near future something's going to change with that, or what do you see for the short term here?
You know, I keep screaming that we need a leader. Like, we had Martin Luther King back in the day. We had Malcolm X back in the day. We need, like, an actual, like, leader, like a fearless, you know? But I scream about it, but I'm not willing to step up. But somebody needs to.
That's crazy. And I guess all we can do until that leader makes themselves known is kind of try to inspire it.
Yeah, right. That's all I'm feeling is just, you know, we have like the army per se kind of set. We just need to know, like, just like how I need specifics. Like, I feel like we can't just be screaming defund police. It should be specifics. And then here we funded it. Okay, we raised the money. Now here's what we're going to do to change this specific thing and do that. And then it'll take years to actually change, but it needs to be small steps by step by step. And that's any movement, whether it's, especially with #MeToo, like back to that song, it should be standing together, building the education up so that females understand, like, hey, sometimes you have to take that sacrifice. If you don't, I get how broke you are, but if you need to take money from this man, maybe come to the community, maybe we can raise money for you instead. Like, if you're at that point, it just needs to be a different conversation.
That's totally fair. That's crazy. Essentially, you're kind of drawing attention from the phrases and the hashtags and the keywords and trying to draw attention to the actual conversation that not just is behind it, but absolutely kind of has to be said almost before the keywords are said, right?
Yeah, it should be like, I'm a huge fan of uncomfortable conversations. Like it should be, you keep having that conversation until it becomes comfortable, like no matter what it is. If you're, you know, if you're on the other side, like even if as a straight straight person, if you're a LGBTQ ally, like you should be talking to not your ancestors, sorry, like your grandparents or your parents or your family that still have a bad mentality, and make them understand that, things are okay. Like there's no reason to be thinking like that. That those uncomfortable conversations need to happen.
You almost said ancestors there, and maybe that was a subconscious slip, because if someone has a good relationship with their spiritual self and with their ancestors, maybe that is a conversation you have to have.
Yeah, 100%. Meditate.
Exactly. That's a trip right there. and so onto the last track here. We're almost running out of time.
Yes.
Transcend. So you were saying that you had a similar experience with the person that you worked on this track with Anya there. And in your particular experience, actually, you know what? I'm gonna let you elaborate as much as you so choose to.
No, it's okay. It's another uncomfortable conversation, but about miscarriages. Unfortunately, I don't see it or hear it. Like you don't really see it in TV shows. Actually, in the last year or two, I have seen it pop up here and there in TV shows. But in music, you hear about abortions a lot and all of that. But I would love to hear a male perspective side of losing a kid, because when I went through it, I went through it a few times. And so the response and actions from my ex-husband was basically the second verse of the song, where it was just he blamed me for everything. And then I know that there are guys out there who don't do that, who are more comforting. And so I just wanted to kind of take notice to, the mental state that females are in the first part of the song. And then also, the toxicity that comes from the males who aren't ready to deal with it either. And maybe they take it out on the females, and it does ruin relationships. So,
and that's such a hard subject to talk about, and it's as much as it's a very rare occasion, it's not as rare as most people think.
That's the thing about it, and the feedback that I'm getting back is it's true. It's not it's not uncommon, but it is, even in the hospitals, from the nurses, it is kind of treated as oh, don't worry, you'll be fine. But the mental process of it after, a pamphlet is not enough.
I agree. And so how what can we say, I guess, to someone who's worried about that experience, or has experienced that experience, or is going through it right now? What can we kind of say to maybe guide them, or let's sum up your toughest time and what helped you get through it? I know the track does a good job. I know I'm just going to reiterate that the track does a great job of doing it, but just that a direct vocal.
I know, right? And it's so hard to say, because I feel like I am a bad example, because I didn't deal with it that well until years later. But my first gut said to call me. I don't know, literally, if you don't know what else to do, reach out. My Instagram or whatever, I'm very active on there. But yeah, reach out. And beyond that, talk to your friends about it, because I bet you they've gone through it too, but for some reason we just don't want to talk about it, and then we don't know until you hear a song about it.
That's a fantastic answer. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, TeaFannie. So we are actually going overtime here, so I'm sorry to keep you for so long, but thank you so much for joining me.
No, of course. Thank you for having me. This is an amazing conversation.
Of course. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to sign off on, or just kind of say to whoever's listening before we do let you go?
Thank you so much for listening all the way through. I appreciate everybody's support. And I have a couple more projects coming out with Miss Benzo. It's called We're Most Hated, and it will be out September 4th. And then I will have a new mixtape project coming out for you guys. I'll try and make it work for October, November. Y'all let me know when you want it.
Perfect. So we're going to get a lot of TeaFannie from this year. So stay tuned, everybody. Again, TeaFannie, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much, Jordan, and ReEvolve Media. Shout out.
You're so very welcome. All right. Take care.
Later.
All right. And that was TeaFannie. If you want to learn more details about her and keep up a little bit better, head to www.reevolvemedia.com/TeaFannie. That's TeaFannie. We're going to listen to her track, Walk It Off.
Shadows sparrow
wonder why. Cause my dad gwine like I got wings to fly. Truth be told, yo, your jokes be dry as rye. I laugh, but you still raise me not to tell a lie. But I can tell a liar from the fake. It ain't opaque, clear as day, so thank you for the strength. So you're the reason why I'm so strong today. I'm never vexing at the times you had to go away. I was a kid, got plenty of time to play. Still understood that our time is on layaway. Sacrifice you made for the country and for me. Firstborn is grown now, so I know how it be. Daddy said, rock it off. Rock it off. Daddy said, rock it off.
Nobody loves me like my daddy. Next to Jah, the foundation of my family. God bless you, Dad. I love you, Father.
Tire bust, I'm good, I don't need a tow. Cause of my pops, I'm blessed on the side of the road. My favorite chain was that quarter with the bullet hole. Kept the boys away, but I loved it so. You treat mom like the queen she is. Always when you in front of your kids. I wrote this to show you I appreciate it. You showed me a real king and I benefited. I fall down, he know I don't need to dust me off. He ain't pushing me on meds every time I cough. I'm independent and he is the cause. I am she, saying hyper evolved. Daddy said walk it off, walk it off. Daddy said walk it off, walk it off.
Daddy, next to Jah, the foundation of my family.